And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for the grand finals of the Great Lakes Esports Conference Finals.
We're going to have a great game, best of 3 between Trine and ONU today. It's going to be a banger of a series. These two teams have been fighting all season, and now they're ready to prove their worth on the Rift in this series.
We have Ohio Northern versus Trine University. Ohio Northern a big favorite coming into this tournament. Trine University had a big upset yesterday over Manchester, the 2 seed of the tournament. And Valparaiso was also doing well early in this tournament. Ohio Northern put them down with a 2-0 sweep yesterday. And Trine is going to open up. Let's go through the bans here. Drag.
All right, so Trine looking at blue side, we have Elise, Aatrox, Gangplank. Not your typical bans on blue side, so I'm expecting ONU to have some picks there.
If we can turn down the feedback echo. And for the side of ONU, we have Caitlyn, Lucian, and Yumi. A lot of bans coming into the bot lane. They're really looking to maybe pick up the Varus still being open. Trine is going to open the draft with the Seraphine. This is a flex pick that can go either into the mid or the bot lane. And even in the support role as well.
Even support role, 3-role flex pick. It's a strong blue side first pick. The Yasuo will be a great counter. Matched with the Diana, they're going to look for some insane wombo combos in this.
And Yasuo, what a spicy pick coming out here from ONU. The red 2 Yasuo pickup. They're going to pair that with Diana. That might be their mid-jungle matchup. And it's going to be a very powerful 2v2.
Jarvan coming in, red 2, MF, red 3. They're looking for their own wombo combo setup, looking for the counter engage into this Diana Yasuo combo. We'll see what red side picks up 3 here.
And it will be the Braum to round out ONU's first side. We will see how the bans get into round 4 and round 5 here. They still need to pick up their ADC and potentially a top laner here for ONU.
Looks like Trine still has the potentiality to flex that Seraphine to support, but the double win wall from ONU is going to change things up into Trine's comp a little bit.
And there's the Trundle ban. I wonder if they're going to be looking for a tankier top side here for ONU. They already have a lot of squishy carries coming out from the jungle and the mid lane. And from the side of Trine here, a lot of AoE. Misfortune will layer that bullet time ultimate on top of the Cataclysm. Seraphine ult coming through. It's going to be a ton of AoE.
Blue side looking to ban Azir here. ONU with the Trundle ban. It looks like Azir will be a good ban, potentially meaning that this Seraphine is their mid lane, or they still need to pick their mid lane and they're worried about the Azir pick.
Still waiting to see if that Seraphine goes bot. Will be interesting. Right now they're rounding out more topside bans. We have the Gnar and the Trundle being taken away from the side of Trine. And we will see what Trine's last ban is here before we get into the last couple picks. And they will knock out another mid laner, the LeBlanc.
Now these two bans are very good into Seraphine, so it could potentially be the Seraphine mid here. Although maybe Trine has a pocket pick they want to pull out, and he's worried about these assassin and pokey aggressive laners.
And it's going to be the Ezreal coming out, red 4 here for ONU. A great pick. It pairs well with the Braum. They can really get that CC stacked. Also looking for good ultimates on top of the Yasuo-Diana combos. Really want to highlight that Yasuo-Diana combo in the mid and jungle. These two champions work extremely well together. Diana will jump in onto the fight, knock him up, and Yasuo can immediately follow up. And the Akali coming out for Trine.
And the Azir ban goes to show that the Akali pick was right there.
Yeah, they banned great for this champion. They took out the Azir, took out the LeBlanc. It looks like it's going to be the Akali mid, and really putting down the gauntlet here. Akali versus Yasuo potentially in the mid lane. And we will see what the last couple picks are here. Trine is going to round out their top laner with Mordekaiser.
Trying really to pick some strong laners here to be able to contest these early skirmishes against Yasuo Diana.
And the Fiora coming in for ONU. Man, this is a spicy draft. Fiora really well known for her split pushing capabilities in the side lane. Really trying to take it 1v1 against that Mordekaiser and seeing if they can break open this game.
They are not messing around with these drafts. These are high skill cap, high APM drafts. These fights are going to need to play well to win these games. Ezreal is going to be a strong, safe side bot lane. We're going to try and get this Yasuo and Fiora ahead.
Can we turn on the feedback echo so we can hear ourselves?
I don't know if it was just a stream.
Are we still live? All right, guys, and as we have our drafts final out, that's better, thanks. Justin, take us through, as a Yasuo player yourself, take us through this mid lane matchup, Akali versus Yasuo. What's it going to look like?
Well, really, Yasuo is going to want to get this lethal tempo stacked and make these trades extended, whereas Akali is going to want to look for the Q and the autos in lane and try and not give Yasuo the potential for these extended trades.
And I don't know too much about this top lane matchup. I'm a bot laner myself, so I'll get into that soon. But Fiora, comfortable with this counter pick into Mordekaiser. Go ahead.
It's going to be really interesting to see the Fiora parry timing on the Mordekaiser ult.
Ooh, you can parry the ult. You can also parry the pullbacks that are coming in. This Jarvan going to be looking to make things happen in the early game. Diana can't do nearly as much as the Jarvan in the early game as far as ganks go, trying to set up those early leads, burn some flashes in the lanes. And I really want to see Trine come out strong here. ONU is a favored in this tournament to win it all. I really want to see Trine take it to him here, and it looks good with the draft. I'm impressed by the Akali, the Jarvan, a lot of confidence coming in from this team.
Really exciting to see these high skill cap champs. There's going to be a lot of skill checking in game one here. We're going to see Akali skill checking Yasuo. We're going to see Fiora, Mordekaiser brawling in the top lane. Bot lane might be a little slow, but these top side plays are really what's going to turn the tide for mid game.
And now, as a bot laner myself, like I said, we'll talk about the bot lane matchups a little bit here. ONU picking up that Ezreal late in the draft. They really wanted to get those priority picks on the Diana, Yasuo, Braum. The Braum is also going to be a huge counter for these Seraphine ults. Misfortune ult, he'll be able to put his shield up and block almost all of that damage coming in, protect his team. Really good. If Ezreal can arcane shift forward, Braum can jump to him. They can start fights that way. This matchup bot lane is going to be very interesting. We have a lot of poke coming out from the side of Misfortune Seraphine. And Ezreal, Braum, they're not going to have as easy of a time keeping priority in this lane. Likely going to be shoved under the turret, trying to pick up as much CS as possible and before these dragon fights will pop off. And Drag, take us through the jungle matchup. What do you think about this Jarvan versus Diana pick? What are their first clears going to be looking like, and what can we expect to see?
So Diana's clear very early is going to be much faster and stronger than Jarvan's. So I'm interested to see. I'm guessing Diana's going to look for a full clear route, try and hit this 6 to make the plays with Yasuo. Where Jarvan, we saw the last time we tried and played versus Manchester, they were looking for a 3 camp into a gank on the Jarvan. He loves playing this champion with early ganks, so we will see. I think the jungle rotation is going to look like that. Jarvan is going to look for these early plays. Diana is going to farm up with his clear speed, and it's going to be an interesting one.
And we saw, like you mentioned, we saw the Jarvan coming out yesterday from Trine. It looked beautiful, getting them that 2-0 victory over Manchester, and they're able to get here to the finals. It is a beautiful, rather cold morning here in Columbus. We got our first snowfall of the year. Pretty exciting. However, it's nice and toasty here in the studio. Feels good. How are you feeling, Drag?
I'm
excited
feeling
about today?
Great. I'm feeling warm. We have both games going on. We have this and OSU playing, and it's just a day for greatness today.
The Buckeyes are taking the field as we speak, and it is a great day for competition here in Columbus. The city is electric. The people are out walking the streets, and everyone's ready to get excited and get into these games. We have our own series going on here, and we are more than excited for this competition today.
Oh, and what an interesting draft that was. There's gonna be
very
some crazy fights.
Very interesting draft. We'll make our introductions, guys. I am Jason, Justified Brokes. Nice to meet you all, and welcome to our Great Lakes Esports Conference Finals. I have my brother here. Introduce yourself to the people.
I am Justin Dragbrobst. Same last name, brothers. On the rift and off the rift. That's how we like to run it, and that's how we do it.
That's right. We're hoping to bring you guys some great chemistry here in the studio and bring you some really bashing games. We're hoping it goes all 3 games. We want to see some action in the early game. We want to see great fights and team fights breaking out around these objectives. Yep. We want to see vision control. We want to see all the things that these teams have been working on all year long to get them to this point. These players have played in a season together all year long. They know the teams, they know the meta, and I think they're comfortable and confident coming into today.
I mean, definitely with these picks, Akali, Fiora, Mordekaiser, these picks are going to show us that they are not afraid to fight for their spot.
Fiora, Yasuo, Ezreal coming out.
The Yasuo Diana. It's going to be doing some major damage.
And Drag, Yasuo main himself, so I know he's going to be excited to see this game.
Always.
And Drag, we're going to have you keeping an eye on the mid lane and talking us through this matchup, how it's going, what these guys are looking for.
Of course. You know, Akali, she's probably going to want to look to roam, so we'll have to keep an eye on her, see what she's doing. She might send some roams topside. My guess is it's going to be a very top-centric heavy game.
Now, do you think Yasuo was looking to push this lane in? Is Akali able to match that pressure?
So the thing is that Yasuo has the pressure, but to do so, he has to put himself in a dangerous situation. So this jungler, this Jarvan, right?
Yep, Jarvan.
This Jarvan could definitely look to punish Yasuo if he tries to push that lane and get that lane power over Akali.
This is going to be a spicy one. We are excited to get into it, guys. Welcome, everybody. We are so glad to have you joining us today, and can't wait to get started.
We're loading into the Rift as we speak. The summoners are being checked, the runes are being loaded, and we're making sure that everyone is set and ready for this game 1 of this best of 3.
And we saw some interesting rune and mastery adaptions yesterday coming in from several different teams. We talked about that Kled with Ignite teleport running in the top lane.
Very strong.
We saw him absolutely open up that top lane game. We saw the cleanse coming in from Caitlyn against the Varus. Yep. Varus running the lethal tempo or the poke build. It's interesting to see here what kind of masteries and runes that these champions are choosing to take into the Rift. And I think for the bot lane, Ezreal could do a couple different things. He could be going for this Conqueror, press the attack, might be good with the Braum. And even the side of Seraphine, they can be going for a full-out poke build, or she can be looking for a more supportive build for the team.
I've even seen first strike on Ezreal sometimes. Now I don't know. Oh, here we are.
And here we go into the draft, and it is looking like a standard 5-point. A lot of respect being shown to both teams.
The PTA coming through on the Ezreal. He's not looking to just play safe in this lane. He's not giving up his priority. He wants the ability to make these kills.
And let's focus on the summoners as well. We have double exhaust coming out from the side of ONU. They are really looking to shut down that Akali. Anytime she's going in, she's going to get exhausted almost every fight.
I would not be surprised to see some QSS taxes coming through for this Mordekaiser. However, they have the double win wall, so they could take that gold lead and not build the QSS and just play off of the win wall counterplay.
We talked about the Braum shield being so essential in blocking these team fight ultimates. We didn't mention the Yasuo win wall as well. It's going to be doing the same exact thing. And red side, ONU looking for a Manhattan. The late invade on the red here. They will hit the CC, see if they can stack it up. It's just going to be a fight for the red buff. And Diana's looking, maybe they're going to get pushed out, but they're looking to maybe go for a smite fight. Can he get it? Braum is taking a little bit too much damage, but they go in, and the red buff lives with like 10 health.
That is not what ONU wants to see.
Project Chromo is able to
Oh.
pick up the red buff. However, he fails his E-Flash combo, his EQ Flash combo, and he will not be able to get that kill on Diana. Diana still has Flash, able to walk back into her jungle and pick up the blue buff.
That's going to be a rough start for Diana. She's already behind on this J4 who wants his... Oh, looks like we got a pause coming in.
Early on, we have a pause. We hope to get this resolved as soon as possible. And we're back to us for now.
With this pause, we'll have to see what do you think happened on the invade?
Yeah, it could just be a comms issue. It could be something with some settings, maybe not exactly correct. These players have to make sure that they have everything correct before they get into this rift.
Most definitely. You want them to feel comfortable, everything set before we start this series, so they can just start it right back.
And what an exciting level 1 from the side of ONU.
The late invade.
They're looking for the late invade red. Our team personally loves to do this play all the time. And if you can hit that CC, if you can get a kill, take the red buff, it is a huge advantage. However, they're unable to pick up that red buff. They will retreat just to the junglers.
Wire Drum looking very strong with this Fiora counter pick. Heavy prio into the Mordekaiser. Yasuo heavy prio mid lane as well.
And I want to mention Diana taking an interesting path here. Will instead not go to the blue, but will grab the wolves and go straight into her wraiths. And a gank coming out from Jarvan. That Fiora got the pressure in. However, the gank will be here in time. And will the Fiora flash this EQ combo? No. They don't have the pressure to go for it. A lot of priority from this Fiora into Mordekaiser. That counter pick looking absolutely great in the top lane. Diana getting crazy weak going for the full jungle clear here. Able to pick up his first buff and will take a recall.
And Jarvan was able to look for that pick because of the fast amount of time he had over Diana. Diana tried to shorten her pathing to be there for the top gank, but J4 was just too fast. Although Fiora played it out, because of her early presence and her early poke in lane, they weren't able to pull off the gank.
And a lot of trades coming into the mid lane as well. Ezreal being dropped insanely weak. I wonder if Seraphine hits some CC there into a combo. Misfortune might just be layering those Q autos right off the back of minions. They do extra damage if they kill the minion.
Really back and forth in this top lane.
And talk us about this top lane, state of the top lane right now, that lane state.
It looks like Fiora is really in control of this lane, but Mordekaiser does enough damage to bounce her back when needed.
The scary thing for me right now is Fiora being able to hold that freeze, letting that Mordekaiser come into him. That is a huge wave that's going to be pushing away from him, and he's going to need his jungler's help to get this fixed. Nice bit of trade.
Very nice. Yasuo pushing up past half to keep this mid pro. This is what we were talking about. This opens up Jarvan an opportunity to gank and punish him.
Yeah, Akali doing her absolute best to maintain that maintain her lane state and not being pushed in too much, not being able to trade her health for some farm.
Kato looking very comfortable on this Yasuo, probably one of his better picks. He's up 20 CS already in the early game, and he's really showing his strength on this Yasuo into Akali pick.
And while we have a little bit of lull state in the game here, let's take us through these teams. Drag, take us through the Trine. Who do we got in the top lane?
So in the top lane, we have Kettle Whip. He's playing Mordekaiser. Absolute strongman, plays safe, knows what to do. Project Chrono on Jar 4. In the jungle, Hairless Crab in the mid lane on that Akali. And we have Polyps on the MF. You remember Polyps from the Manchester game. He knew what to do on ADC. He was putting in some damage. His positioning
Polyps
was
was
amazing.
absolutely popping off yesterday. I think he had a 12-0 Caitlyn game. You absolutely love to see it. A nice gank being avoided here. You will ward it out.
And you can't have your ADC without your support, Magic Griffin, there on his side, ready to bring him up.
Alrighty, and thank you for that, Drag. I will take us through ONU's side. This is Ohio Northern coming in. Like we said, one of the favorites to win this tournament, have been doing absolutely fantastic yesterday. And in the top lane, we have Wide Run. Fiora, he got the counter pick, red 5, and he's really making it work so far. Jarvan looking to relieve some pressure, and they might have an angle here. A nice hook back. The EQ will not find the landing, but they will be able to push it. And Diana's here to support the gank. They're going to turn it for a 2v2. Are they able to get the kill? This is going to be very close. Oh, and Jarvan will get the first blood. And they could get the double kill. Absolutely huge for Trine. Yasuo's going to be here to even try to help out. He's going to flash for it.
Gonna see what he can clean up here. Picks up the Mordekaiser.
And a nice rotate there from Yasuo to be able to pick up a kill of their own. But what a beautiful play from the Jarvan there to bring some pressure and alleviate that pressure in the top lane.
Very much so. Diana even had that counter gank, but Jarvan had the level 5 advantage and the fight advantage, and it was just stronger because of that level 1 invade.
And that fight was so close. It could have went either way, and what a big advantage to open up this top lane. They really needed that. As you can see, the Mordekaiser falling behind in some CS, but however, those 2 assists will definitely help him out.
Major props to Mordekaiser for keeping his lane the way he needed to for that gank. It's an oppressive lane, and it was hard for him to stay that low and set up that gank for him. And it's just beautiful that you can see it happen and work out.
Absolutely. He went from getting freezed on to somehow being able to bait that Fiora into him just as his Jarvan was approaching. So really nice play. And Yasuo looking onto Akali here. All the ultimates are now on the Rift, it looks like, except the bot lane. And Diana's still looking for that 6 as well. However, the mid Yasuo and Akali are both level 7 now. And top laners have their ultimates as well. We should be looking for some more fights here potentially.
Yasuo looking really strong here, and that's what ONU wants with this comp. They want
look
the
at the
gold.
Jarvan.
Oh,
You will get the shift out, but they're gonna pop the Cataclysm on Braum, and the shield will be enough. However, he's gonna live with 1 HP after the flash, but the poke on Jarvan.
drag.
He didn't have the flag, but he did have the drag, and he sliced him underneath the turret. Another kill for the Jarvan. 3-0. Project Chroma absolutely opening up huge in this early game.
All these ganks are working out perfect for Jarvan. His pathing is beautiful. The way he's setting up this ganks with his team, it's just great team play, and I love to see it.
And this is exactly what we talked about with the Jarvan pick in the early game. Able to make these plays and alleviate some of this pressure from these strong laners. And a good avoid. Oh, but they're going to pull the trigger, and they're going to hit the Diana-Yasuo combo. Are they going to be able to get him under tower? I think they will. A shutdown onto the Diana. This is going to be huge for the side of ONU. Almost escaping that gank. ONU not wasting a second, pulling the trigger and hitting those ultimates together. That is the combo we were talking about.
Not an American played that beautifully. Flashed over the wall, ulted. Yasuo's
And they will drop the second exhaust, seeing if they can kill another kill onto the Akali. Not enough damage. A nice roam from the support there, but unable to alleviate the pressure. And this Yasuo is now looking very big. A 2-0 lead, and he's up 40 CS in the mid lane. Oh, a nice parry there to counter the pullback.
Both teams looking to play their team comps exactly how they're supposed to be, and I love to see it. However, these prio picks in the lanes are starting to push up on CS and be stronger than the opponents. Trine is going to have to pull something out here early to change these lanes around.
And we see both supports looking for as much vision control as they can. They're trying to not let this Jarvan get too out of control with his ganks in the early game. And they're even having the support roam up early here, 10 minutes in. Both supports are up by the Rift, and I think we're going to have another fight here, Drag.
It looks like it. Diana's clearing her red. It's a matter of if she can finish red by the time they finish Herald, or is she just going to have to give it away?
They might be having to give it away. Mordekaiser with a great push into the top lane and able to maintain that priority will bring him down and assist in getting the Rift for their team. And what a great pickup for Trine.
Very nice. That's exactly what they needed. Now, if they can pick up this dragon as well with their early pressure, that would be huge for Trine in this game.
And we know picking up those double objectives are so important. Like we talked about the vision, I love seeing the Braum roaming with the jungler here. Not an American and Tango Charlie working together. They're going to spot this Seraphine. Seraphine has to be very careful coming through. This is going to be dangerous. And they will go onto the Seraphine. They're going to get the stun, and there's no way he lives this. Another kill for Not American.
Beautiful setup to catch that Seraphine on the rotation.
And they can turn this into a dive. Jarvan is running his absolute fastest to get bot lane and try to defend this.
No wave yet. Polyps down here 1v3. He's getting help from Chrono. Chrono's coming in.
And Polyps is starting to smell it out, it sounds like. And he will get Project Chromo here to assist him, so ONU will back off the dive. However, like we said, what a great play from the side, especially Tango Charlie roaming with his jungler there.
Most definitely. Looking for those jungle plays on Diana is very important for the role. You want to get some gold on her for her and Yasuo to be able to steamroll these fights.
Oh, and it's a 1v1 in the top lane. Fiora will pop that ultimate and get the healing off. Blue team has stolen the Mountain Dragon
Misfortune!
with a Misfortunal, and the Cataclysm will go down as well. A nice Seraphine ult to protect him. They might be able to live. Diana's going 1 HP. Oh, he's so close. That fight was absolutely insane. And
Fights in the top lane, fights in the dragon. We have a stolen dragon from Misfortunal.
the
Ooh.
first dragon being stolen away. What a great play from Trine. Oh, and
and
a
the
dive coming in
dive.
from Hairless Crab. This game is breaking out everywhere. Diana able to pick up Hairless Crab. He tried teleporting out back to safety. Nice play. It almost worked.
Caught out almost.
Caught out. Wow. Wow.
Trine really doing what they need to do here in the early game to make these plays and shut down this Yasuo and Diana combo.
And Trine, both teams looking very good here, very strong out the gates. The solo lanes falling down in CS. We really need to see if they can get to these side lanes potentially and see if they can get enough gold back in the game.
Right. We have Chrono with the Herald, I believe. I don't think you've used it yet. So he's going to look to these lanes. Where do you think he's going to drop Herald, Jay?
I would have my sights set on the bot lane right now. Misfortune already doing very well, keeping up in CS with that Ezreal. If they can blow open this bot lane, they have a chance to roam the Seraphine and Misfortune around the map and potentially take more turrets. And it looks like that's what Jarvan's doing. They're going to path down. They're going to drop this Herald. Let's see if they can get the turret.
Diana's topside, so there's going to be no contest to this. They might be able to pull a full tower from this play.
I believe they will. Nothing here. No teleports to come in to save them. It is dropped fairly early, so that last plate is going to be very tanky. They might have to back off.
It's a nice 4 plates down, though. Bot tower only at 1 plate
And
now.
look top. We have
Oh.
Diana coming. Fiora ult will open up. Diana in with a great engage. And they will knock down this Mordekaiser? Absolutely.
And that's the great counter play that not an American wanted to play. He saw Jarvan bot lane. He saw the... Oh!
Oh, a Cataclysm down onto the Misfortunal. And what a beautiful combo.
And that's the combo that they drafted for, and that's the combo that they executed.
Project Chromo all over the map right now, doing absolutely amazing on this Jarvan pick.
They're going to get first tower top. Diana, beautiful play to see Jarvan in the bot lane and then decide, I need to make a play somewhere. Let's do it on the opposite side of the map.
Absolutely. Trine will finish off that tower and get a tower for themselves as well. It was
Olive
a very nice
looking
rip
onto
down in the
this
bot lane.
Yasuo.
Kato might be picked here, but a nice wind wall. Oh, he's protecting multiple damage with the wind wall. Double exhaust going on to both champions here. Yasuo looking for the 1v1. Will pop the ult. Won't hit the right target. Paladin stays alive. And Akali is looking for the fight as well. Hairless Crab picking up another kill for himself.
He needed that kill. That will open up to his mythic, which will give him the magic pen against Yasuo's wit's end.
And here we have again Diana Fiora, the wider runner and not an American, just walking around the map taking these turrets. They will drop the entire mid lane turret as well with some help from Yasuo in the previous waves.
Diana and Fiora. Oh. Okay.
And it looks like Mordekaiser dropped onto that ult, onto the Fiora, however, unable to follow up on it. They're still worried about this Diana hanging out in the jungle. And we need to see what Trine can do here to maintain this game. They are down 2k gold lead, mainly from this CS advantage from the top and mid lane. A couple towers going down as well.
Diana and Fiora destroy these towers together. Both of them do enhanced damage to towers because of their abilities and passives. And it would not be surprising to see them pushing a sideline.
And we talked about Project Chromo being all over the map, but what about this Diana as well? Not an American, doing a great job of staying up in CS, matching as many ganks as the Jarvan can. And the Jarvan EQ combo into the Cataclysm. They're just going to keep dropping onto this Braum. However, Braum has the ability to walk out. Not enough damage, however, Misfortune looking for it.
Good escape from Tango Charlie. They're using Toxic to jump over the wall and walk out through the red buff.
And that Cataclysm will be down for Project Chromo. They still have the Misfortune bullet time. And we'll see if maybe another fight's going to be popping off around this Rift. We have Rift coming up right now. We have Dragon coming up in the next minute. I'm sure we're going to be getting into some more fights here soon.
We have Diana Flash available, so we're looking to see this Diana Flash ult onto a large amount of people.
Flash ult, follow up with the Yasuo combo, and here it might be. He will get the flash, but the Yasuo was out of range for the knockback. It was so close. A nice engage. You literally called it, and it happened 2 seconds later. That Diana flash, however, that pressure might be enough to get them this Rift Herald. Trine is going to counter with the Dragon for themselves, and this is going to be second Dragon for Trine. A really big pickup if they're able to give it.
Trine's really going to want to try and pick up the soul here, whereas I think ONU is playing for these towers, playing for this split push, and playing for this large side damage with the Herald.
Absolutely, and Trine, it looks like, will be able to pick up this Dragon. ONU might be running this Rift Herald top right away. We'll see if they hold on to it or just clear out some of the jungle here. That Diana Yasuo is looking very scary walking together.
Mythic's finished. Diana with the stopwatch now, 9 stacks on her Dark Seal. She's ready to do some damage.
And do you think we're going to be seeing the Magi's come out from Diana here? 9 stacks. It might be pretty likely. And they're going to engage onto the Akali here. He is stuck in the mist of darkness. He will be forced to flash over the wall. And a good look from Not American.
Great look. She might look for that Magi's, especially with that many stacks, and deciding to take the Proto build over the Nashor's Sunfire build that's often seen on Diana.
Very interesting, going for the Proto Belt as much AP as possible. Oh, and a great engage, a double Cataclysm into the bullet time, and they will engage. They're able to knock down, shut down onto Misfortune. And this is huge for Polyps to pull up. The shutdown, they keep it going, and a double kill.
That's exactly what Trine was looking for. A team fight with the counter wombo to engage before Diana Yasuo can go in.
ONU was overextended, and Trine used all of the tools in their toolkit, and they threw it all down on the Rift.
They might have blown too much there. That might have opened Trine up to get this pressure in lanes and pull for this Dragon Soul.
And that will bring us right back to a 2K gold lead for ONU still. However, taking down this tower is definitely going to help. They're looking for the tower in mid lane as well. That play opens up a ton of opportunities for Trine. Really alleviates the map pressure in the state of this game as it started getting a little kill favored and walking around the map on ONU's terms.
Great flash by Polyps there to dodge the Diana ult. That would have been a death sentence into the Yasuo.
And how good has Polyps been playing this tournament?
He's been playing so well. His positioning, his timing, his damage, he is just on the mark and ready to pull through for the Trine.
And what a great job for his team to get those kills onto Polyps, one of the main carries for this team, and he's going to be able to be a huge threat in this late game. Misfortune will do so much damage, able to win team fights by herself.
And with Trine's team, Polyps is doing a ton of damage, but everyone on Trine is setting up these plays for Polyps to send out that bullet time, for Hairless Crab to run around the fight and clean up these kills, and that's exactly what they want to look for.
And let's take a step back and focus on some of the win conditions here for Trine. What do they have to do in this game?
Trine is looking to match this Fiora pressure on the side. They want Mordekaiser to be able to deal with her before she can take too much. They want to pick up this Dragon Soul as their main win prio. And ONU wants to look for the side pressure, 4-1 Baron plays, and Diana Yasuo flanks.
And as you can see already, both melee solo laners for the side of ONU get into those side lanes and seeing what they can open up on the side lane. That's what we talked about, the win condition for ONU here. Looking at the side lane, it looks like they're going to set up this 4-1 Baron play with the Rift and the bot. This is looking very good for the side of ONU. Is Trine able to contest this Baron? They're going to be sending 4 players up, and Akali's here to match the bot pressure. It looks like they will be able to get him off this Baron. Great play from Trine.
Amazing by Trine. They have Mordekaiser join the team fight and Akali be in the side lane. So Mordekaiser can cancel that Diana Yasuo engage.
And look at this Fiora. This is exactly how the champion is supposed to be played. This is exactly why you counterpick at Red 5. You were looking for this great matchup and a good ultimate onto Akali, and he's just going to solo kill him in the bot lane. They're going to get another charge off onto this bot. I think he's going to get this bot turret as well, and maybe even in the inhib.
I think they're going to get the inhib. They're losing a lot here.
Another
this Fiora
charge.
is so strong.
And that was an absolutely great play from the side of Fiora. Like we said, exactly how you want to play this matchup. This is why you give your counter pick to the Fiora.
Really strong here. 2 levels up on the Mordekaiser. Not afraid
and
of
he might be in
anyone
trouble.
on Trine.
There's 3 people down here. 3 versus 1 for the Fiora. Can he get out? I don't believe so, and they're probably going to give it to Polyps. Yes, it will be. And there you go. You see the team. Oh,
and that is
Jarvan did get the
300
shutdown.
gold shutdown over to the Jarvan.
Trine did his absolute best to give it to Polyps there. However, did have to pick it up himself. And another contest. They're looking to come up and contest this Baron. A teleport from Akali will get them there sooner, and it looks like they're going to push them off. And what do you think? Oh, they will hit the engage onto Braum. A great shield to block all of that bullet time damage. And a good ult to get him out.
The Braum pick, that's very nice. He can tank the Seraphine ult, jump out of the danger after getting charmed, and then ult away the engage.
And I want to talk about Tango Charlie. He's doing absolute great on this Braum pick. What a perfect pick for the draft. Smart players on the team here for ONU. And a 3rd dragon might be looked at from Trine, and this is a huge part of their win condition. Getting closer to that soul, this is going to be soul point from Trine, and they are going to get it.
The Hextech Soul is going to be so strong with this Seraphine MF combo. The slow and AoE damage is just going to add on to what they already have, and it's going to hurt ONU.
And we will see if we can keep getting these Cataclysm over bullet time ultimates coming out for the side of Trine. This is really their bread and butter for winning these team fights so far. The big thing for Trine right now is how can they shut down that Fiora. Right now, they are opening the game. This is exactly how the Fiora wants to be played. 4-1, put him in the side lane. Don't bring your Fiora to team fight. It's not going to be as useful as a Mordekaiser in a team fight. And here they go, knocking down another turret for ONU. Wide run doing absolutely amazing on this Fiora and putting up so much pressure on the map.
Really taking a lot here on this Fiora pick.
And as we can see, a gold lead being swung a little bit in the favor of ONU. Will they be able to hold this turret? Pollitz has a big shutdown. They're going to be able to get it, I believe.
Got him.
A huge shutdown on Yasuo. A great tornado into the ult. Oh, he didn't even have to use his ultimate. Just a great tornado.
And that's what ONU
and
wanted to look for. They got the shutdown on Polyps, their main damage dealer. That's what they need to do as an assassin comp. They need to play these assassin picks while Fiora's in the sideline.
And we talked about the Fiora. The Yasuo is looking absolutely fantastic as well. Almost off 100 CS here in the mid lane. That is pretty dire for the side of Trine.
Looking to build this Wits End Bork as well, besides the standard crit build. That means he's going to do massive damage to this Baron and to that tanky front line from Trine.
And right now we can see again they're using the comp to their advantage. They're having the 4-1 Baron split. Fiora in the bot lane, pushing these super minions in, looking to even hit some of these Nexus towers and just create that pressure. They will 3rd time's the charm. ONU finally walks away with the Baron, and they will be retreating in purple. Oh, we lost the stream, but we can imagine what's going on. I think Fiora is looking under that turret with Baron, and he had a 1v1 against the Mordekaiser. Is he able to do it? We don't know. Oh! And the Mordekaiser says no. Shuts him down.
Beautiful Bramble pickup. That might have been the difference between that fight, negating so much healing from Fiora.
I like you. What a great mention, the Bramble pick. It's really good into that Fiora. Fiora getting so much healing from that ultimate.
And the Sunderer and Ravenous as well, that is a lot of healing. And that Bramble might have just saved them the base.
And let's look at Yasuo's build. Pretty interesting right now. What do you think?
Looks like he's going into the Sunfire or Iceborne build. We've seen this build, Bork into Sunfire or attack speed into Sunfire. And it does a lot of damage while also being tanky enough to make these plays and get out alive.
Also following up on that Diana, the Braum ult, they're going to have CC. They're going to be able to stay in the fight together, CC'd as long as possible, doing
Definitely.
that AoE damage.
Especially with this Akali, you're going to want to be tanky enough to survive that one-shot
And that's why I like the Wits End pickup from Yasuo as well. They have so
Beautiful.
much AP coming from the side of Trine. You have the Seraphine, Akali, Mordekaiser, and really enough resistance to keep you alive.
Definitely.
And I like as well, we don't see the Magi's come out, unfortunately. Diana will lose those stacks on the Dark Seal. However, I like this comp from the side of ONU as well because they have the double melees in the side lane. a melee bot lane as well. So Diana is the
Oh.
sole AP, and they will go in. They're going to pull the trigger, and it's just a one-shot onto Polyps. A nice stopwatch to keep him alive, and they're seeing what else they can do. Braum, Tango Charlie is always here with the shield. Akali's looking up. They have a nice exhaust to get off the Kali, but a Cataclysm will go down in the middle of the team fight. Braum will come back as well, slowing him down that Glacial. And Fiora looking to step up as much as possible. Both teams staying alive here. Mordekaiser will pop out.
Flashes out.
Flashes out. He was about to be right in the middle of 5 of them. And we're going to see if ONU can open this game in the mid lane. They will take out the Seraphine. It looks like they're going to get a double inhib here and maybe even look for 3 on the top.
How beautiful was that Diana engage on Polyps? That's why he built the proto build. Oh, they're just
Absolutely
looking
beautiful.
to end.
They're looking to end here. And they will get the stun onto Braum. A great bullet time is going to do a ton of damage into the carries. Can Polyps pop off here? It
Kado
might not be
exhausted.
enough. They're getting down to the Nexus. Kaido's doing absolutely everything in this fight. A nice knockup.
Oh.
And he will end the game off that play.
And that is going to be ONU taking game 1, picking the Yasuo Diana. The Fiora was so strong in the sideline.
What a good draft from the side of ONU. We saw them not give Trine a chance to get for that Dragon Soul. They wanted to end this game as soon as possible. They really prioritized on the side lanes, on as much gold advantage as they can, and just run it down.
Both teams playing their draft exactly how they needed to be done.
We love to see it. That was such a good game 1. Like Drag mentioned, both teams playing their drafts perfectly to their win conditions. The side of ONU playing for that split push, playing for that double melee solo lanes, and really taking as many towers as fast as possible. That Yasuo Diana combo, the Braum coming through, blocked how many bullet times. It was such a good pick for the side of ONU.
Yep. Towards the end of the game, Diana and Yasuo saw the Trine ADC in their bot lane. Pip, I think?
Polyps.
Polyps, that's right. Saw him in stepping a little too far. And then with that proto belt and their flash engages, just pulling the trigger immediately.
And as I started to talk about right before that fight broke out, Diana being the sole AP on the side of ONU really made it hard to itemize for the side of Trine.
Right, you have so much damage coming out from this Yasuo and Fiora. They have the Ezreal poke, even more AD. And Diana being the sole AP just smashes damage because they can't itemize against it efficiently.
And I love seeing that in game 1. Trine putting up their absolute best. And what a close game for the first half of that game. Trine able to pick up 3 dragons, able to come up to an early lead with that double kill in the top lane.
True. That was nice. Diana almost had the counter gank, but slightly behind because of that level 1. And we just goes to see the little things like that make all the difference in the early game.
It's crazy, it sure is. And again, talking about the junglers both popping off for these teams. We had the Jarvan doing absolutely crazy things in the early game, getting as many ganks as possible. Diana finding her way to match and get up in CS. I want to talk about these solo lanes going up 100 CS in the side lanes as well. I know this is the nature of these picks, but we got to find something to have. Trine has to find something to do against that in game 2.
Definitely. They're going to have to find a draft against this Fiora. They're going to need an answer. They cannot play Mord into Fiora again. Switching sides maybe this time. I wouldn't be surprised to see Trine pick up the Fiora if they play it, or at least throw a ban and then pick the Ornn, perhaps.
Right.
Because they love these team-centric team fights. Seraphine ults, MF ults. That's what Trine's going to have to look here to set up a win for their next game.
And I love the Jarvan priority from the side of Trine. I hope we see that again in game 2. That looked absolutely great. We saw a Seraphine support come out yesterday. A Sejuani support coming out yesterday. Flex picked 3 different roles. Maybe we could see some more of that today. The ultimate also pairs very well with the Misfortune.
It's going to be interesting to see if ONU keeps up this strategy of skill checking and fast engages to pull the trigger without Trine expecting them. Because I think that's going to be their win con against Trine's hard, aggressive team comp.
Absolutely, Dragon. What an exciting game 1. I cannot wait to see the rest of these games. I'm very excited. Lobby is almost ready here for game 2, guys. So be patient with us, and let's wait to see what we get into. What do you expect bans coming out for both sides here? Do you think they'll switch it up?
Thinking bans. Their bans were targeted, I think, against high played champions against both
So I
teams.
believe ONU banned 3 different bot laners, Lucian, Caitlyn, and Yumi. So interesting bans there, and as we could see, Pollux was so strong on the side of Trine, it makes sense why they are trying to ban this guy out.
Very true. They need to keep him off his comfort, because if he's on his comfort, he might run away with the game.
And it's going to be impressive to see. I'm really excited.
We'll have to see how they play it out. We'll see what they're looking for being on blue side now, switching sides of the rift, seeing if they're going to change their play style, make new picks, or just keep doing what they've been doing.
And it did look strong, but I need to see an answer for some of these solo laners. They cannot be going down so far behind in CS in these early games. They really need to find and draft some strong solo laners for themselves. Hopefully, maybe taking the red side now, hopefully get a side
Red 5 counter
a
pick.
red 5 counter, getting them some more priority in these solo lanes.
Definitely going to be important, because these solo lanes were up a ton of CS. And that's going to make all the difference between these 200 health living or 200 health dying in team fights.
And I really like the adaptation from ONU to pick up the Braum in Red 3. Before they allow it to get to the second round of bans, they see the misfortune, and they immediately pick that up.
It was a nice pick. It was definitely useful for their team to block these abilities, provide the disengage, tank things, and then just hop out of the fight. He did it multiple times, and the pick worked perfectly.
We even saw in the late game, he was able to do a re-engage, throw that ultimate down. Diana Yasuo were able to catch up to the slowed targets and pop their
And not to
full
mention,
combo.
Braum gives Yasuo that knockup as well. So if he ever hits the knockup and then Diana's in after, he can pick up multiple people with that ultimate.
Absolutely. Some great drafts coming out from both teams here. Very proud of these two teams coming into this finals, absolutely prepared. It seems like they knew their win conditions. They played exactly to them. They played to their strengths. And I'm excited to see what the adaptations are in game 2.
Definitely. It's going to be very interesting.
And what an exciting game 1 that was. Let's talk more about the objective control for both teams. We saw ONU looking for those Rift Heralds, looking for those dragons.
So really what I saw from that game, ONU liked to play for their top side, strong side pressure, and Trine liked to play through their bot lane through Polyps. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see this same kind of draft going through again.
And here we getting into the draft, guys. Welcome back, everybody. It is game 2 of the Great Lakes Esports Conference Grand Finals. This could be it for ONU. If they win this game, it is over. We have a best of 3 here today. We want to see Trine to come out strong and take us to game 3.
You love to hear the game 3 silver scrapes. We're all hoping it's not a game 5, but we'll take a game 3 silver scrapes.
We would absolutely be excited for that. And we will see now Trine deciding to switch sides. Like we talked about, maybe getting some more priority in those side lanes. We will see how this draft shakes out. We have Trine on the red side now. They're going to have that counter pick, red 5. ONU is going to have that first pick.
It'll be interesting to see if Trine adapts their play style to play through their top lane now that they have the red 5 counter pick. Because ONU is going to be so strong playing through that top lane last game. Maybe Trine switches it up, pulls the covers up from over their head, and shows them that we can play bot side and top side, and we can play this game.
And that is exactly what they'll need to stay in this. Continuing playing strong through Polyps, absolute carry for this team, but finding ways to alleviate that pressure. And here we go, bans are kicking off. Let's see what ONU opens up. I assume they're going to be targeting this Polyps in the bot lane as well. Maybe even a Jarvan ban.
Definitely could see a Jarvan ban. That pick was so strong this game, making so many plays.
And they are firing right through the bans here. We have Yumi, Caitlyn, Lucian, same bans for the side of ONU. Let's see if any adaptations from Trine. It doesn't look like it. They're going to ban the Elise, Aatrox, and Gangplank. So a lot of pressure being put on that top laner. We saw Fiora doing absolute crazy things last game. So they're really trying to knock him off some of those picks. They will take away the Seraphine blue one.
Once again, another flex pick. We'll see where they'll play it. They could play it mid.
So this looks like a takeaway from the side of Trine's support. He played that Seraphine last game. He looked pretty good on it. Was hitting some decent ults. A lot of poke with those Qs. I saw a lot of those Qs hitting in the middle of the Cataclysms. A ton of damage coming out for the Seraphine. And there is the Sejuani. And I hope it's the Sejuani support. And we have the Sejuani Jhin.
Trine can flex this pick in 3 lanes, in jungle, top, and support. Each played differently, but each played beautifully by each player. And I really hope it's the support.
I hope so too, Jack. We saw that Sejuani support come out yesterday, and the ultimates into those team fights on top of the bullet time was absolutely beautiful. We'll see if it pairs well with the Jhin here as well. Jhin having a lot of follow-up, able to stay safe from a back range. We'll see what Polyps can do on this Jhin pick, or kind of a new pick for him.
Yeah, it's definitely a faster paced move around the fight champion. Maybe he's going to look for more angles to get into these fights and do damage, play safer with his movement speed in the late game, and not get picked like he did those earlier games.
And a little bit different style here for the side of ONU as well. They're looking for some strong poke in the bot lane, some strong scaling and jungle control from Graves.
Probably picking this Graves thinking it's the Sejuani jungle, but they might flip the script on him and pick a counter pick to the Graves.
So Graves does very well in the Sejuani jungle, right?
He does pretty well, yes.
Okay, we will see if that's the case or if Trine is able to flip the script. We will see how they round out their draft here with the red 3 pick. And it is going to be a jungler maybe, Wukong.
Okay.
That looks like a Graves counter, right?
Yeah, we haven't seen the Wukong in a while, but pulling him out here with this Sejuani, they could be looking for engages from far away and picking the Seraphine Ashen Graves whenever they want.
What a spicy pick.
It is a great one. They're definitely pulling up their sleeves for this game too.
And we will see some bans coming out in the second round here. Azir again taken away from the side of ONU. The Mordekaiser will be taken away, so Trine will not be able to run that back this game. And we will see, maybe it's the Wukong going top.
They could flex it as well. A lot of flex picks from Trine here.
And we saw Trine banning out the Elise in the first phase, however, leaving that Graves open. We'll see how comfortable the jungler for ONU here is on Graves. A champion that can absolutely blow open the early game, create a ton of pressure for his team, control those objectives, and generate huge farm leads.
Trine leaving up the Fiora from last game, saying we're not really scared of it, we just have a better answer this time.
And interesting, we'll see how it shakes out. They will take away the Akali. They didn't want to run back the Akali this game, it sounds like, so maybe they have a different answer. The Sylas will be taken away as well. And a Syndra, red 4.
This champion is so strong now after the changes. Does one of the highest DPS late game scaling mages after these changes to her passive.
And tell us a little bit about these changes.
So the new changes, she gets 2 Qs, her abilities cost less, her E stuns, her W does true damage, her ultimate executes,
man,
and then she also gets a built-in Rabadons.
Woo! Some of these changes are looking spicy for Syndra, and it is going to be a very strong pick. We talked about having stronger lanes and being able to counter some of these strong lane pickups for the side of ONU. And as we talk about strong pickups, a Yone being pulled out from ONU. Do you think that's going to be top or mid?
I would assume it's going to be top lane. We know early in the season in LCS, Syndra was played into Yone almost every lane. It's a great counter lane for Syndra, and there it is. Yup, Yone will be in the top lane, Corki to match the Syndra.
Okay, I like it. And tell us a little bit about this mid lane matchup, Drag.
It's really hard for Corki. He's going to want to pick up as much CS as he can, not get too shoved in, not get too poked. Syndra, on the other hand, is going to look for that priority, look for the roams, and look for the early objectives.
And with the Azir and Akali bans coming out, a good way to protect that Syndra pick. And we see the red 4 Kled coming out from the side of Trine. We saw this yesterday in their victories, and I'm excited to see it here again today. It's going to be the Kled versus Yone in the top lane. And
it's going to be another brawl, man.
It cannot get spicier than this, guys.
I would not be surprised if he takes the teleport ignite again.
And we haven't even mentioned it will absolutely be the Sejuani support. As we see the Wukong going into the jungle, Kled going top lane, and this is such a spicy draft from the side of Trine. And I love seeing exactly what we talked about, giving them the extra lane priority, getting stronger picks in these side lanes, and being able to counter the strong picks from ONU.
Definitely. ONU kind of playing a different game here, looking to just stall out fights, poke, and they're probably going to have to play through this Yone or Corki late game poke.
And I think this Graves will be a huge product of their formula here for ONU. He's going to be roaming around the map, looking to get as much farm as he can, look to invade this Wukong even.
Definitely. These lanes definitely set Graves up for success in the jungle. He's a jungler who wants to be played around in the jungle, and he will carry. He wants all the gold, he wants the invades, he wants everything, and that's what they drafted for.
And absolutely, and after that Diana game, you can't blame him for looking for such a strong, like almost a selfish pick in the sense of Graves, because he knows if he gets that gold, he can carry this team.
Definitely. Graves being such a strong pick right now. High prio, they get him blue 3 because of the bans that Trine had to put on ONU because they're so proficient at these different champions.
And I am very excited to see the Sejuani Jhin in the bot lane. They're going to be going up against Seraphine Ashe. And the Seraphine Ashe has a ton of poke in this lane. It's going to be very hard for this Sejuani to even look for engages. However, they have that magic Wukong who is able to go invisible and walk into these lanes and force as much of a gank as he can.
Trine is definitely going to want to look for some bot side plays here. They're going to get pushed in. Sejuani and Ashe are going to be poking Sedge, and Sedge wants to engage before they get too poked down. If Wukong's there, that could spell disaster for ONU.
And you love to hear it. We have strong composition identities on both sides here. They're looking for, like we said, strong solo picks on the side of Trine. They're looking to play around this Wukong, see if he can gank some of these solo lanes. Excuse me. And see if they can open up this map for these priority picks.
Right. Both teams have an option here to play team fights through single target pressure and single target elimination. We have the Jhin W, we have the Sejuani ult, the Syndra ult. Those are all things that can one-shot someone out of position. On the other hand, ONU has answers of their own. They have the Ashe ult into Yone Seraphine, more of a team fight centric, but starting with the Ashe ult and the Corki damage, if they get their ults off, they're going to do huge damage.
Especially if we can get a Corki package layered over some of this CC. If we can get a Seraphine ult into a Corki package, that is going to spell disaster around these objectives.
And that's the damage that they might need to take down Trine.
And Trine, again, looking for these strong solo lanes. We'll be looking to push the map in the same way that ONU did game 1. And we'll see if they're able to achieve the same success.
I would assume level 1 going to be the standard 5 point again.
Maybe not. These drafts are looking so spicy. Sejuani does have potential to invade. The Wukong as well, very strong level 1. Kled, very strong level 1.
We could definitely see Trine invading here with the Sejuani, Kled, and Wukong.
Yes, we will see if ONU is able to scout it out or if it will just be that standard 5 point like we saw in game 1. However, they took that 5 point into a late invade red. We'll see if we can get some spicy shenanigans like that going again in game 2.
Definitely going to be interesting to see. These teams play level 1 very, let's say, interestingly. I love to see plays like this going because you're putting everything on the block at the very start of the game.
And we even talked about Diana skipping the blue buff there, going from the wolves straight to the red, not letting that get invaded, and being able to be there for the top lane.
Very smart pathing. Knew that Jarvan was going to early gank. He didn't have time to do blue and be at top in time for the J4 gank.
Decided to instead wait on his blue buff and be there for his teammate.
Exactly.
And it almost
it almost makes you
so-
cry. That's what I love to see from junglers. Looking out for the team, saying this is a team game. I'm here to help you win your lane. You're here to help me win jungle and get objectives. And that's what Trine or ONU loves to do.
And I'm excited to see this Tango Charlie again on the Seraphine. See if he is able to make some of the same plays that he was working with his jungler to do in game 1. The Diana able to roam with that Braum a lot more easily than maybe a Graves Seraphine might look like. Graves really just going to be focusing on farming, really going to be trying to get as much gold as possible, focusing on these objectives.
Seraphine probably just going to stay next to Ashe for the majority of the game. Maybe buff up this Yone if Yone ever looks for any angles, but really just playing back, waiting for the Corki engage, and waiting for the Graves and Yone flank after the Ashe ult.
And I want to see how strong this poke is. Ashe, one of the best laners right now, that often paired with Ashe Heimerdinger for that absolute crazy push. They get that lane priority, able to move up the dragons easily, able to help out with the scuttle, able to walk in with Graves potentially and do some invades on this bot side.
Most definitely. The invades are going to be strong on Graves with his laners. They have strong prio bot lane. Trine's going to need to play safe, maybe engage before they can get the poke off. Otherwise, they're going to be shoved under tower.
And here we go. Draft has been completed, but it's back to us for now, guys. And thank you and welcome back. We are getting ready to get started for Game 2.
Game 2 of the GLEC Finals, League of Legends.
The grand finals here today in Columbus, Ohio. We are at Game Arena, an absolute beautiful facility. And if you haven't been here, you live in the area, you got to come check it out. It is absolutely insane here.
And warm in the cold outside.
Absolutely nice and toasty in the studio, guys. We got the soundproof rooms. We have the grand finals set up in their own soundproof rooms. It is such a beautiful setup here, and we could not be more happy to be invited to cast our grand finals here.
Of course. It almost beats playing in the tournament itself.
As gamers ourselves, we would sometimes rather be in those chairs. However, it's nice showing up today, not having that level of stress.
Take a step back, analyze things, and see things for how they are. And it's nice.
Absolutely, and we don't have to go in stressed about playing perfectly today. We just have to do our best on the shoutcast, and we're happy to do that today.
Oh, these teams.
What a great game
They
one.
battle, man.
What a battle. They're playing with heart.
Yes. Pure heart on both teams. They do not hold back, and they fight for their teammates. They fight for themselves, and that's what you love to see in a battle like this.
ONU making a statement in that game one, throwing down the Fiora, Diana Yasuo. Really good comps, really good playing around their team's strengths.
It had to be something that they've practiced before because they looked clean
They
on it.
did look so clean in the 4-1 Baron split. They had to do it 3 times, but that third time's the charm, finally able to walk away wearing purple.
And the patience for them to just repeat that play until it finally worked
Yes,
out.
they did not force on the Baron. They didn't want to give any opportunity for trying to come back into this game.
Right.
Let's take it back to the very first dragon of the game. And Trine coming out with a dragon steal on that Infernal Dragon. The bullet time over the wall.
That was beautiful by Polyps. He's looking for these plays to carry these games. He is a strong component of Trine's bot.
And here we go right into the draft, and it is spicy already. We see all 5 players from the side of ONU pathing up towards the top lane. It looks like they're going to be doing this top lane try invade, and Kled is going to be here to see them. We will see if they can get in unseen and possibly pop a slow onto Kled here. It's going to be hard if they get it. He will pop the sweeper, so they're going to see him. A slow goes down onto Kled. He will have to flash here, but the snare's going to hit. I don't Oh, he doesn't have flash. That's right. It's the teleport ignite from Kled.
Oh, and ONU abuses the teleport ignite.
What a beautiful play from ONU, recognizing that he won't have flash and sending that in the top lane. On this Kled, you have to recognize that you don't have flash, and you have to be careful on these level 1 invades, especially looking at an Ashe Seraphine. And it looks like Seraphine is in the farming position.
Looks like Seraphine
I
is going to
believe
be
we
the
have a.
carry for
Is
this
this a.
bot lane. It's going to be Ashe support.
Okay.
This will do a lot more damage in the team fights. Seraphine picking up this gold as opposed to an Ashe. Ashe will just be her ult then, like we said. And then the damage will come through and poke on Corki and Seraphine, and then Yon Graves to clean up.
And ONU likes this because Seraphine being one of the only AP, they do have that Corki is a little bit half AP, but being able to get that gold on Seraphine is going to be really good. And Trine doing an invade of their own will pick up the red side from ONU, and it looks like they're going straight into a bot lane gank as well. A flash on Tango Charlie, and can they get this with the Wukong?
Oh!
What a great play! Red lane invade straight into the bot lane. They cut him off into the try. Sejuani engages, and Wukong's able to follow up for a kill.
That's exactly what we were talking about. We want this Sejuani to engage on this bot lane with Wukong before they can get poked out of the lane.
We talked about the Sejuani support before we even got into the draft. It was first picked from the side of Trine, and we absolutely love to see it paying dividends here early in the game.
Magic is playing so well on this champion, so well on this support pick. It's one of his best, and he's showing it now.
And what a great start for Polyps, the carry for this Trine University team. He's able to get this pressure in the bot lane. They're going to be playing against no flash Ashe, which is going to be very hard from the side of Sejuani. They are no longer to use this Ashe Seraphine poke lane priority picks that they drafted for. They can no longer do this playing up without flash.
Jin and Sedge getting prio in this lane now because of that. But they might even want to get shoved in because they can bait those fights, have Sedge engage, and Wukong will be there every time to clean up.
And just keep calling the Wukong down. It looks like he will be pathing to top side right now. Graves having an interesting clear for himself. I think he invaded.
I think they verticaled.
Yeah, they verticaled invade, so he will take away the camps here. And an extra camp being picked up from Graves.
Great pink ward by Graves there to spot Wukong out in the jungle.
Oh, a beautiful pink right there behind the red buff to see him going across without showing. And they will pop onto the Kled. A good lane state for the side of ONU in the top lane, letting that wave push into him and seeing if they can call the jungler back.
I'm surprised this mid lane is going this well. Corki opting in to start Dorn Shield because of how much poke this Syndra has. He pushed early, reset, and grabbed a tier, and he still has his 2 health spots. He is playing this lane very well.
I love the little cheater recall. Often do it in the bot lane for perhaps a call, sometimes a tier as well if you're playing Vars. And I love seeing it. Getting to stack that tier very early on. He's going to have a much bigger mana pool as they get further in this game.
Plays like that are very important on these champions that are weak early and susceptible to poke and being shoved out of lane.
Able to getting a base in and not going down in CS is going to be really good for this Corki. Syndra's going to be on the back foot here. Hairless crab in the mid lane. Oh, and who'd that smite go
Non-American
to?
picking up the rift.
Did Graves pick it up? Yeah,
Yep.
and great. So, not an American will get this double scuttle from the side of ONU, and he's starting this Graves already up 10 farm. This is what we talked about. This is what Graves does. He will walk all the way across the map, wherever he wants to go. He is not afraid in the jungle. He lives in the jungle.
He is up so much gold against this Wukong. From his clear routes to his ganks, he's going to be a menace once he backs and gets his items.
And it looks like he might be looking to back here soon after he clears this Krugs camp in the bot lane. And yes, indeed, he will be looking to back. And the Sejuani Magic coming up into the top lane. What can we expect to see here? A great start with the Kled going onto the Yone. And Sejuani is here to make the absolute play.
Kettle Whip and Magic Griffo. The Sejuani roam level 4 to top lane.
And Magic is just Magic. Teleporting to the top lane and being there like he...
Beautiful. The
Like, where did this
Ignite
guy come
utilized
from?
well. Oh, yes. Polyps. God, I mean, props on Polyps here. to be able to play into this poke lane and still catch that CS that he can while Sedge is roaming. It's a very confident thing for Polyps to be able to say, yes, you can go top. I'll match this CS against this poke lane, but we have to get a play, and Magic made it happen.
You love to see it. You don't want your support wasting time for no reason. And he gets up into that top. He gets the wave shoved in afterwards as well. And I love to see that play from Magic Griffin. What a roam.
Very surprising to see Jin, even in CS in this lane, that level 1 gank by Project Chrono and the Sejuani engage really helped this lane turn into what could be a possible late game carry.
Doing a good job 2v1ing down there while Magic was on his feet, moving across the map, helping out Kettle Whip. We talked about helping out these priority side picks in the top lane, in the mid lane, and we already saw some action.
Oh.
Graves coming up with a beautiful gank from behind.
Good stun.
A nice slow onto the Syndra to force the flash.
Hairless Crab playing that nice and patiently, throwing out the abilities when needed, flashing, not risking anything, because you do not want to give this Graves a snowball, because he will snowball the entire map with
And
it.
an absolute beautiful pathing there from Not an American coming behind the Syndra in the mid lane. And Trine loves these dragons.
They love playing for Soul. It's not going to be a Hextech Soul this game, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of Soul we're going to get. I would love to see a Cloud Soul with the Kled Wukong, an Infernal Soul with the Jin. It would be very strong for their team.
Syndra as well.
Yes.
So seeing Trine will pick up that first dragon. A great pickup for Wukong here. And Magic seeing if he can make anything else happen in the bot lane. The Sejuani support pick already doing huge things, able to be a part of both kills for the side of Trine here.
Really smart flex pick. They love pulling this out when their backs are against the wall, and it pulls up on anyone who tries to contest the Sejuani.
Absolutely. He can be, as you can see, they're sitting in a bush just waiting for it. And Sejuani is almost 6. He's looking to get that soon. Wukong hitting 6 and some ultimates all across the map. We have our top and mids hitting 6 as well. And some brawling going on in the top lane. A 1v1, Kled and Yone. Yone will just dash out. A nice trade.
Yeah, that was a good trade. Kled does a lot of damage, actually. I think he drafted into the Iron Spike Whip, maybe, which gives him that damage on abilities, whereas Yone gets that lethal tempo attack speed. And he was able to trade it back.
Good things happening in the top lane here. Let's put our focus on the mid lane. Pretty even lane state. When can this start to expect to go in one person's favor?
You really expect Syndra can pick up at any moment. She can join these team fights, pick up a big stun, and pick up a kill. Whereas Corki needs around 2 items. He needs his Ludens. He needs his Man Immune. And then once he gets those items, he can start doing massive damage before these fights.
And I want to put my focus back on Magic Griffin. Look where he is at. He has found his way to the top side again. And Trine, it looks like they're going to be able to pick up this Rift Herald as well after getting the first dragon. This is great objective control from the side of Trine, and we'd love to see it. An even game state in the terms of gold lead. However, they will pick up that Rift Herald and the dragon. Great early game from Trine.
Amazing. They're cleaning up everything.
And an all in here onto the Wukong.
And he has
He
to
will
go
ult
back.
out, but he has to follow back, but it's so close.
And there it is. Kettle Whips Kled pulls in with the kill.
Absolutely clean. Let's see if he can outlive this gank. I don't think Graves wants it. It's a 6 versus 8 level matchup. And he will have the Scarl to get him that health back.
But he
is just looking to keep going. Magic Griffin is looking up to the top lane, but he is not level 6 yet.
Here comes the ultimate.
The Scarl, and they will dive him under tower. The Ash ult from the bot lane, and it's going to be able to get multiple kills. Oh my god!
Tango Charlie with that ultimate.
Tango Charlie. He said tango down in the top lane.
Multiple tangos down. That ultimate all the way from the bot lane hits him under tower, slows all 3 of them, and ruins their plan for a stomp in the top
What
lane.
an absolute beautiful play. Killing the Wukong with the slow as he tries to escape. Almost got all 3 of them with that Sejuani almost dying with that
Props
that
to
ramped up
Trine
tower
for
damage.
tanking that damage properly, getting closer so the Sejuani doesn't die right away.
This man got a double kill from bot lane on the top.
He's just built different.
Absolutely insane things here from Tango Charlie. One of the players I wanted to keep my eyes on for this game, and I'm glad to see that he is very versatile in his champ pool.
Really nice Freljord matchup out of the supports here. Both of them showing who's the queen of the Freljord. Is it Sejuani? Is it the Ashe? It
And
might be the Ashe.
Tango Charlie, Tango down in the mid lane. Another
is-
beautiful ult.
He is Chris Kyle with these snipes.
He is putting in lasers across the map. Everyone is a heat seeker, going straight and finding its target. What some beautiful arrows. Magic Griffin here with a great Sejuani ult. They will pick up Not an American. A great way to shut down that Graves.
That's
and Wukong
amazing.
is starting to get strong.
That's exactly what Wukong needs and Trine needs here. They need to shut down this Graves. Ashe is picking up all the kills, so she has the majority of the gold for ONU. I'm feeling good about Trine having this 3-in-1 Wukong.
It looks really good for Trine. Look at these top laners going at it every chance they get. A nice plate pickup from the side of ONU in the bot lane.
That is the counter side to the Sejuani roaming. Ashe can just throw the ult from lane, so she still has the presence in lane. Sej has to leave this lane, and they've now taken 3 plates because of it.
Absolutely, and as you can see, they bring down Project to try and help out this Jhin in the bot lane. Try and keep him from getting shoved in so much. Kled doing his best to pick up the farm under the tower here. Will we look for an engage in the bot lane? We have Dragon up, and Trine will certainly be looking for this second Dragon.
Oh!
A flash engage from Griffin, but the Jhin W will not find its target. But the Ashe ult will, and Graves is looking to blow up this Sejuani. Are they able to do it? No. He
Corki
lives with 1
package.
HP. Corki package will find the kill, and are they able to get out? Wukong is taking a ton of damage in the back lane.
Oh.
A nice stun to keep him alive.
That Corki package picking up that kill after the Ashe ult sets it up was amazing. Magic maybe looking a little too deep there on the Ashe. Ashe able to flash out, has flash up, and then now he's out of position.
And it was a very close play. They almost knocked down that Graves. And if they were to do so, that certainly would have been Dragon here for Trine. So I like the look from Magic Griffin.
Also, a solo kill in the top lane. Yon solo killed Kettle Whip.
While that was going on, Yon gets his revenge on Kettle Whip in the top lane.
Showing that he is not afraid of the Kled. He knows the matchup. He just needed a bit more
And
items.
look at Magic Griffin.
Oh.
So close.
He is
but
looking
this-
everywhere for these plays. He wants this win so bad, and he's trying everything he can to make it
Griffin
happen.
is magical on the Rift, and that's where he gets his name because he is able to get all around this map without anyone seeing where he's coming from.
Kled gonna take some big plates up here. That'll be very nice for him.
And I love seeing the solo lanes this game matching the CS levels of ONU. You saw ONU last game able to come out to huge CS leads in the mid and top, and we saw that was a huge reason they won and a big reason they got the gold advantages throughout the game.
Definitely. These red side picks are really helping them pick something that they're comfortable with after seeing ONU and setting up the lanes for success.
And Corky,
Oh.
glad he could get his first kill.
Okay.
A nice steal from Project to grab that blue buff. I like to see Griffin roaming everywhere with this jungler.
This is looking like support back in season 5, where
Yes,
the
where
dual
they just-
support meta. Or dual
Absolutely.
jungle.
Absolutely. He is running all across the map, making sure Chromo can do what he wants in this side. And they might be looking for this, but it's a pretty hard fight. They will have Syndra to back him up.
Sejuani very strong with these AD melee champions, being able to apply that passive and extra damage.
And as you can see, the Sejuani ult's coming up any second. It looks like they're getting engaged on here. The Ashe arrow will hit onto Wukong. Oh, it's the Wukong clone. A great clone over the wall to keep him out and keep him safe. It even fooled me. They started putting some damage on it, but it wasn't him. A nice
Big
Yon
ult
ult
here.
onto Sejuani. That is not a tanky Sejuani. That is not a top lane Sejuani. It is a
And
support.
she goes down to not an American.
The Syndra stun will not land, but a nice Wukong play to maybe get him out here. And Kled is looking for the all-in 1v4 into the backside. Is he able to grab it? They are dropping so low. The Syndra all into the stopwatch. And Kled just barely. Oh, and Yone
And a
will pull a
triple.
double
Oh,
kill. And
double
Kato will
kill.
pull up the third. 3 down for the side of Trine. That fight was so close. Kled going in a little bit too deep into the back lane. He thought he had the angle. I really like the play coming out from Hairless Crab. He missed the stun, but he landed that true damage W into the ult, and they blew up Ash.
It was really nice to trade back by Hairless. Wide had an amazing engage on Magic there. Magic isn't really too tanky as a support, doesn't get too much gold. So Wide saw that and saw I can engage on this and one-shot it.
And both of these teams not taking any time at all, waiting to pull the trigger. They are ready. As soon as they see the opportunity, they are pulling this trigger and all in these fights. And as we can see, Kettle Whip looking for his own all in the top lane. A 1v1, he will pop the ignite, and Yone will go down. A great shutdown.
That's a 400 gold shutdown to this Kled who is running into fights and doing a ton of damage. If he has his team with him, when he ults forward, he's going to do a lot of damage with this gold he's acquired.
And we need to see what this Kled can do with the gold advantage. Magic Griffin down here
Good
again,
sidestep.
starting it. And what a great stun combo. And they will get Tango Charlie. Graves trying to follow up. Not enough damage yet. I love that play from Magic Griffin. Again, starting these fights.
He's really this engaged pick for this team, for their team to follow up. He sends the engage, then Syndra throws the stun behind. Wukong throws the ultimate. They didn't even need it there because Syndra is such a strong champion. She is farming well. She picked up kills. She has first strike. She just hit level 11. She's going to start doing some massive damage in this game.
And the turret will go down for the side of Trine. Another Ash arrow. So close.
Good dodge by Polyps.
Or Pileups, yeah, a great dodge. They will drop this Rift Herald in the mid lane. This is going to really open up the map for the side of ONU. And let's see if Trine can get an engage. I don't think they're going to look for it. Dragon will be coming up in the next minute. They have to save this ult. Sejuani ult is not up yet, but it will be up by this Dragon.
ONU really looking to push for this mid prio and then push Vision into the bot side jungle. Trine really needs to keep this pressure on the bot lane. Keep it even. If they're pushing mid, we need to keep bot. We need to keep pressure in at least one lane because we need this dragon.
And as you see, the Yone really pushing in the top lane. Kled doing his best. He's going to try and bring this back, and I'm sure they're going to be breaking down into 1v1s again. Yone looking to bring over into this map.
Corki coming out with the package. We saw his package last fight, able to clean up and zone off the Wukong. Let's see what he does with this package.
And they will have the Ashe ult again. We talked about this earlier during the draft. The Ashe ult into the Corki package is going to be absolute beautiful. It's going to kill anyone that gets Ashe ulted. And let's see if they can make this pick before the dragon. It looks like ONU will just start up this dragon. Graves is going to be starting it while the rest of his team tries to zone. Syndra with a good flank down here in the bot lane might be able to cause some havoc.
Looks like Trine just wants to trade for this mid tower. They say you can have the dragon. It's not soul point. We're not worried yet.
That's right. It's only the second dragon. They're okay giving another way. Instead, getting some gold for themselves and some map priority in the mid lane. And there we see it. ONU picking up the second dragon. That Infernal Drag will be nice for this poke team, at least from the bottom lane and the mid laner as well.
Looks like ONU looking to just push this bot lane in, match the mid tower with an outer tower of their own, and the outer tower gives slightly more gold. Nice pickup for ONU here.
And an interesting Ashe out there. They tried to catch the player backing under the bot tower. No vision, just kind of threw it. Barely unable to get that, but
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Justify.
There you go, Jack. And so far, he's been hitting them pretty well.
Okay.
A nice engage over the wall here, but Wukong will be here. And a nice ultimate. Yone is going to be able to ult out
over
after the wall. Wukong able to flash to follow. Are they able to hit him?
There it is.
Wide run will go
Hairless. Down. That's so good. Syndra needs this AP to be making these one-shots.
A big pickup from Syndra here. Wukong doing his best to help these side lanes. And that's really going to create a lot of pressure for the side of Trine.
Graves really looking to control this topside vision. They're going to want to push for this Baron, make a play with Ashol, and then force onto this Baron. Now the question is Trine going to be able to engage before them? This game, I feel, is really all about who pulls the trigger first and who makes it look better.
And we see cleanses on both of the 80 carries here, or the AP carry from the side of ONU.
Oh, we have a TP flank.
A teleport flank coming in here for
The Ashol?
Syndra. Wukong will be here to protect, and he will tank the Ash ult for Syndra. That would have surely hit, and what a beautiful tank there from Wukong, because that would have been a dead Syndra.
Great play by ONU to look for that and try and set that up. Great counter play by Trine to help get that Syndra out of there.
And Tango Charlie looking really good with these cross-map arrows. I might have to ask him after the game, give me some pointers, because I'm an Ash player myself. And these ults are looking beautiful. And a beautiful engage.
And they pull the trigger on Graves. That could lead to the Baron.
Magic Griffin with another beautiful Sejuani ult. You can see the power of this pick. You can see why they prioritize it. And I hope it goes to a game 3, because there's no way he's getting Sejuani again.
Not a chance. He is so strong on this champion. Making plays all around the map through the early game, through the mid game, through the late game. Sejuani is his champion, and he knows how to play it.
Another Ash ult going out. So as I was mentioning, both 80 carries taking cleanse in the bot lane. However, we saw multiple engages going onto the supports. They don't have cleanse, and it's much easier to take these players down. We saw how fast Sejuani gets ripped if Yone just all-ins him.
Sedge is really going to want to start building tankier for these late game fights because they already know after that first play, Sedge will be an easy pick. But if she can get in, get that CC off, and then have Trine engage afterwards, and they pull the trigger before ONU, I think that's what they're going to have to look for to win these fights. Corki 2-0-2 here. Probably close to 3 items, if not already. He's going to be doing a lot of damage in these team fights.
Absolutely, Drag. And here we can see, yeah, he's got 2 mythic already, or sorry, 2 full items already, plus his mythic. And he will see about getting that 3rd item shortly.
Both teams very power spiked right now. Yone's still missing his secondary item. So I'm thinking Trine and ONU could be looking for a brawl very soon.
Yone and Seraphine both missing their second items. This is Trine's opportunity if they can force a fight in the next couple minutes before ONU is able to spend this gold and get those item upgrades.
Jin picking up that rapid fire cannon to keep the distance, engage on the Sejuani ult, and play from behind the Syndra.
I really like seeing the rapid fire. A ton of range from the side of ONU. So like you said, keeping the distance is going to be really important. We see a bounty coming on for Jin simply from his farm advantage, a little bit of assist gold coming through as well, and multiple bounties here from the side of Trine.
ONU just kind of playing safe, not worrying about contesting this Baron just quite yet. They'll know when they start it, and when they do, they'll be on it.
And what do you think about the scaling for both of these teams, Drag? And we see Magic Griffin missing a Sejuani ult. Very close. It was a good look. They're looking to get that pick before starting that Baron. Drag, take us through what is the scaling looking like for both of these teams?
The Yone scaling, I believe, will counter the Kled, but I think Syndra will be more useful than Corki.
And
they're going to just trade Baron for Dragon.
And right there, we have a Baron being started from Trine. The Asher arrow will go in between. Kled is looking to turn it with the Scarl. They're going to go straight onto the Graves with the Wukong ult. Look at the peel coming in from Seraphine. Absolutely beautiful, and they decimate Trine. Oh, it looked like a good engage. Polyps is going to try to get out with less than 10 HP. And I don't think he's going to get away from this one. What a big play from ONU.
Props to ONU from playing through that mid prio instead of going through the jungle. If they went through the jungle, that Kled ult would have engaged right on top of them. Since they went through mid, all they had to deal with was the Wukong, and then they had Corki flanking on the side.
At a great angle, and talk about that. The peel and the disengage, the re-engage, that all happens at the same time from Seraphine. They have so much CC layered onto multiple members, the damage coming through. Wukong is not able to find the kills on the Graves. They're able to heal him up, and just turn that with so much AoE damage and CC.
It's going to be really hard for Trine to make these fights if they can't get Kled and Wukong diving into that backline.
They need to be hitting that pick, landing that Sejuani ult like we saw in the first half of the game. And this is how they find their advantages. Drag, talk me through it. What does ONU do to end this game clean?
ONU looking to just slowly scale, a little bit longer, no mistakes. They have Dragon Soul coming up. They're going to grab the Dragon Soul, look for some gold advantage with this Baron that they have, and just stay safe away from these Sejuani picks or Wukong engages while looking for Ashe ults on the side.
Absolutely, and we will see if they can do just that. And a beautiful Sejuani ult onto the Corki. He's got the package to get him away. They're trying to follow it up, unable to do so, and they're looking for the re-engage now in the push with Baron. A great look again from the side of Magic.
ONU just ready to support their team, though. They are not letting them get collapsed on. Beautiful flash by the Corki to judge.
Look at that 2 damage, and Graves will drop. An absolute beautiful trade from Hairless Crab.
That damage was insane. I think it was the execute.
It was the true damage W into the ultimate execute. An absolute brilliant play. And I think this might... Oh, it's not enough to stop the push.
I don't think they can get more than that, though.
It's not enough to stop the push just yet. A nice Ashe ult. He will dodge it with his decoy once again. And they're looking to re-engage. A ton of damage. He will burn to death. And a huge shutdown for Polyps. And they're looking for the side lane play as well. Kled looking for this counter pick. I think he's got the 1v1.
He sidesteps the Q.
He knows people are coming over, so he's got to hurry with it. But that lethal tempo is insane from Yone.
Doing massive damage there.
Well played from Wide Run. Makes it look easy in the side lane. He knows he has his team coming, just has to take a little bit longer. And gets that clean kill himself.
Good pickup on the Mortal Reminder from Wide Run. Into this Kled, who has Eclipse and Bork, there's going to be a lot of healing through his autos.
And that had to be the difference. That heal cut coming in.
That fight was so close.
And great effort there from Kettle Whip, trying to get some advantage in the side lane, trying to get his team back into this. He has a lot of gold. Let's focus on the Syndra and Polyps. Doing a ton for this team, the most farm in the game onto this Jhin pick.
Polyps doesn't have a death.
He's
a 40 CS into this pushing lane. Polyps is looking to not make a single mistake and pull through when his team needs him.
And let's not even forget to mention that he played this lane 2v1. Sejuani was roaming half the game, making plays in the top side, getting their first rift, ganking mid. He was able to keep his pressure and keep his farm lead under the tower bot. A nice Ashe ult, however, will get countered with the Scarl. A good engage from Wukong, however, they will need to back this out. Yone has to go back, but the Graves and the AoE CC and the damage will just come in from ONU. And so much damage being layered over that Seraphine. We talked about the Graves, Seraphine, Ashe layering these CC AoE damage, and it looked beautiful right there.
Graves surprisingly tanky, but doing so much damage to these carries from Trine.
And Trine is going to have a hard time here holding this bot lane. A nice dodge from Polyps. Won't be Ashe ulted. However, they don't have Syndra here for their wave clear, and it's really hard to hold this inhib. They're not going to be able to do so. ONU picking up a big inhibitor in the bot lane.
After a big play that is huge for ONU, they're going to rotate, set up Dragon now. They have vision all in bot side jungle. All they have to do is walk to this Dragon.
And let's talk about the bot lane for ONU as well. Toxic, ONU, and Tango Charlie playing these picks absolutely perfect. They're doing great jobs of layering the CC, layering the AoE damage. They're fighting in corridors, exactly what they have to do.
They're not looking for 1v1s, not looking for one-shots. They're playing their champions with their team, how they're supposed to be played and communicating.
And I want to talk about Kato too. He played so well on Yasuo Game 1, and he's looking beautiful on the Corki as well. Rounding out his team, Sejuani ult misses. Anyways, rounding out his team with the AP that
Just
they
goes
needed.
to show he's comfortable playing these aggressive champions, but when he needs to hone back and play smart, he can do that as well, and that makes him a very valuable
And
player.
ONU will be looking to pick up this Infernal Soul. Such a big pick. Trine has to do something here, and we know it's on Magic Griffin. He's gonna be leading the charge for his team. Will we get a Kled ult here, or will they just think to give it?
Jin is on his IE power spike.
And a nice package there to stop. Oh, and an absolute beautiful engage from the side of ONU. They are just absolutely doing so much AoE. They can't stand anywhere in these fights. The CC, the AoE. And that is a big win for
ONU is
ONU.
playing these fights so well, pushing him into a corridor, packaging on the line, Seraphine ulting on the line.
And they are looking to end it right here. They're not even going to go for the Infernal
Oh.
Soul. They're looking to end this game. A nice stun. Oh, it will miss, fly short, but Graves doing
Magic
a ton of
coming to
damage.
peel.
Magic Griffin is going to look to save the game, trying to get this Grave kill, but they're not able to do so. A great flash from Pops will keep him alive. Magic
It's
Griffin,
Polyps versus the world.
Pops versus the world, will drop his curtain call, but unable to find the damage. And it looks like ONU will end this game clean. What a great series here today, guys.
Great play
Oh.
from both teams. Congratulations to ONU. A devastating stomp in that final game, playing all those team fights so beautifully.
We love to see it. They played their comps exactly how they wanted to. Not as great of a showing in game 2 for Trine University. They did have a lot of positive things. The Magic Griffin looked absolutely insane on the Sejuani. Wukong also doing some good stuff. Polyps on the Jin.
It kind of just felt like a draft issue for Trine. They had the ability to get in, but every time they got in, they were countered by the Seraphine ult, by the Yone ult, and they were able to just peel their backline and push it forward.
And we see that priority pick Seraphine coming out and why it's important to ONU. We saw that first pick coming out from Blue 1, and they picked it up, and it played perfectly in this game. They countered all the engages. They were able to layer the CC, layer the AoE, and knock down the engage from Trine.
Beautiful game by both teams, really doing what they had to do. It's really hard when you have to pull the trigger to win these games. And if you pull the trigger and it doesn't go right, there's nothing you can do.
Man, some great plays. Talking about the top laners, we had that Kled going against the Yone. What a brawl. The game before was also very spicy. They were going for 1v1s.
Trading back and forth kills through this series. Just fighting non-stop, not showing who is the better mid laner because they both performed amazing.
And I loved the draft adaptation from Trine. Being able to get some help into these solo lanes who are falling very far behind in game 1. It looked a lot stronger in game 2. However, that Graves was able to snowball that lead, get these objectives that they weren't able to find in game 1, and snowball that game until the end.
That's exactly what they looked for. That's how they played it, and that's what they scaled for. They played around these objective visions well, they played as a team well, and they played the team fights well, making sure no one gets picked off by the Sejuani.
All right, guys, and that is it for us here. We are going to send it to a break. Thank you guys for joining us for the Great Lakes Esports Conference Finals here in Columbus, Ohio. What an absolute cast. Thank you, Drag, for joining me here in the studio.
And thank you, ONU, for providing us a great series play there. And congratulations on the win.
Absolutely. Congratulations to ONU. Congratulations to Trine for making it so far in the tourney, picking up an upset yesterday against Manchester, and finding themselves in the finals here today. Oh, we do. It is a best of 5.
Amazing.
We have new intel in, guys. It's a best of 5. We are going to be back for more games.
We're here for the reverse sweep.
We're here for the reverse sweep. I want to see Trine do it. We had so many good things going in from both teams for both games. This is an exciting series. Don't go anywhere, and we will be right back. Thank you all.